For Creighton, on our left is 23, Damien Jefferson. On our right is 24, Mitch Ballock. Starting statement from head coach Greg McDermott.
We were lucky. We were really lucky. I think we beat a pretty good basketball team. They've improved even in the games that I've watched. So I think you're going to see that continue as the season moves forward. They went small early in the second half. It gave us some trouble off the dribble. But we got down, and the group that got us back in was 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen. So as I told the team, I think it's going to be a year of just trying to, from a coaching standpoint, we're just trying to figure it out game to game, like who's got it going, who's got the hot hand, let's feed them. And we executed some plays down the stretch really well, and after being pretty anemic really the entire afternoon offensively, I think we scored 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We scored in 12 of our last 13 possessions. So sometimes you just have to stick with it, and you're hoping for a run. That's kind of how we're built. But to be out-rebounded the way we were and to turn it over like we did, we're really fortunate to win.
Questions for the student athletes?
I guess for both guys, offensively, what changed over those final 7 minutes as opposed to how sloppy it was before that to get going and score as efficiently as you guys did?
In the first half, we were just stagnant with the ball, and our cuts were half speed. We talked about in the locker room, we got to make stronger and faster backdoor cuts and have some more intensity when we're making those plays if they ever play. And then in the last 7 or 8 minutes, you talked about, we just did that. We executed what we talked about and at halftime, and that just opened up everything. And then we got the ball to touch several sides before ball screens, and then when that happened, everything just opened up and people made plays.
Just basically going off what he said, I feel like when we play the way that we play and play the way that we practice, we can be a real good team. And I feel like the first half we was kind of selfish. Everybody wanted to do what they wanted to do, but then we kind of found that group who wanted to do what Coach wanted us to do, and we obviously came out with the win.
Damien, what was the message among the guys down the stretch there? Because obviously you don't want to be in a position like that, but to pull it out says something about your makeup. What were you guys telling each other down there? Just
keep fighting. Keep fighting. We knew that coming in the game, they was a real good rebounding team, so we had to just keep them off the glass the second half, and in that last 4 minute 4 minutes, and we had to just keep them off the glass.
Can you talk on Alexander's play and kind of how he kind of brought you guys back into the game there down the stretch?
Yeah, I'll take it. Tyshawn, early he was kind of early in the game, he was not really letting the game come to him, and then the second half he just once he just basically took a deep breath and let the game come to him. He was making big plays, and that big shot he hit with 3 on the shot clock down the stretch, that put us over the hump and got our crowd really involved. And then he just made smart plays down the stretch and really carried us to a dub.
I guess for both of you guys, you kind of touched on it there a little bit, but how difficult has it been so far to kind of, without your 2 go-to guys this year, trying to find people you trust in these types of situations to the point where, it almost got too late today, but you guys figured it out, but I guess as you're figuring it out in the game?
Well, we know that 2 people just can't win a game for us. It takes a whole team, and we rely on each other. Like I was just telling them, we got to just trust each other and rely on each other, and obviously stick to the game plan at what Coach wants us to do.
And like you said, having Marcus and Taz last year, guys who can take it over. This year it's just going to – Mac talked about it in the locker room. He said it's going to be a different 5, it's going to be a different guy, it's going to be a different 2 guys every game. Dame brought it on the boards last game, and then we just go game to game and just put it together and fall into our roles and just do what we're supposed to do to win games. So I think it's just going to be a different guy or a different 5 guys every game.
Mitch, how different was the vibe when shots started going in? The first 30 minutes of the game, balls bouncing off each other and throwing it out of bounds. You just didn't seem to have a rhythm, and then suddenly it clicked. What was it different? How did that feel, that run that you guys had there?
It felt good. Obviously, sometimes you're just trying to force things that aren't there, and when you're trying to do that, was just a little sped up, especially when they're trying to deny the pass and everything. But once you just settle into the game and just let the game come to you, like I was saying for Tyshawn, it just opens up everything. Plus, like when the crowd gets going like it did late, I mean, that really carries us on the defensive end. And, I mean, we got to play before that, and hopefully we'll figure that out and do it before we need them. I mean, late in the game, we're down a lot. So it felt good, though, to get into the rhythm and just play, show what we're about.
Damien, on the defensive side of the floor, what were you guys doing well enough in the first half and then early part of the second half to keep yourselves in the game while the offense was struggling?
Just communicating with each other. Like, as I said earlier, we just got to trust each other. And I knew that I can trust the guys that was behind me, and I can rely on help. So that was the main thing that I was telling them in that huddle, just to trust each other and just talk, communicate. Because I feel like early in the first half, we didn't have a lot of communication, and obviously things weren't rocking with us. But as we start talking more, things became well.
Two more from the athletes.
And Damien, you had a couple threes. I mean, they weren't really guarding you. How much is a confidence booster is that? I know you worked on your shot a lot over the offseason.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, when I came in the huddle, Coach Mack told me just don't hesitate. And obviously, I see him back up 2 feet off me. I just had to let it ride. Kind of felt disrespected, but I mean, it's all right. I've been working on that, so obviously that's what I wanted to show.
Brace.
Between the other night and tonight, you guys struggled at the line the other night. Tonight, how much of a factor was that in the win?
I think we just took care of it in practice. Honestly, Mac said, I mean, we used to make excuses and say, it's a fluke, we're missing free throws. But when it just piles up like that, Mac just ran us a little bit and then make a shoot game like free throws when you're tired. So then that helped us a lot, and people just shot with more confidence because we know we can make free throws, but we just got to do it. And a lot of games that determines the outcome of the game. So, 88%? It's a lot better than the 9 for 20 we shot last game, I think. So it worked.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Good job.
Questions for Coach?
Mac, I'm not sure how many we've covered here. You guys have had twice as many turnovers as assists, but it got to that point in the game. How did you get the guys to kind of shake free of the one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the turnovers were self-inflicted, just like not reading a back cut, or, Mitch fired one at Davion, fired it to him in transition. He threw it back at him, and I don't know what the heck he was doing. But, those are the ones we have to clean up. I didn't feel like their pressure was to the point where it should have forced us into a lot of turnovers. But, we somehow we got through it. And, I hope I challenge the team. Had we lost this game, they'd be all ears, eyes wide open tomorrow, ready to learn. That they need to be all ears and eyes wide open in victory, and understand we've got a lot of room to grow as a team. But on the other side of that, we threw a bunch of young guys out there that got us back in the game. We found a way to win, and that's going to help you down the stretch somewhere.
I guess were you surprised at all the way how quickly it just flipped offensively, just to find that rhythm? And
well, we've got good shooters, and if our good shooters take good shots, I like our chances. But when you turn it over as much as we did, we probably handed them. I would guess we turned it over 25% of the possessions would be my guess. Yeah, it was a 69 possession game. We turned it over 16 times. So, 1 out of 4 times you're just giving it to them. So it puts pressure on the rest of the possessions. And there were times I thought we took some challenge shots too early in the shot clock, but late in the game, the ball moved, and Tyshawn had a tough one at the end of the shot clock. But other than that, we executed pretty well during that stretch.
See from Marcus, you went with him those last 8 minutes in terms of how he was, orchestrating things from getting good offense going.
Yeah, I liked what he was doing offensively. Not that Davion wasn't doing good things, but sometimes when you're struggling, you just keep, you're grabbing straws, throwing people in there, trying to figure out a group that works. And when that group worked, we stayed with it.
How challenging is that to do in the game? I mean, those last 5 may not be the guys that are clicking on Thursday.
No, it's gonna be different. That's what I told the team. And that's why guys that maybe didn't play as much or didn't get as many shots or score as much. They can't get down because it's going to change. You know, you've been at practice. Martine hasn't practiced all week. Jake came back for the first time yesterday after being out 8 or 9 days. So, like, we can't practice what we need to practice because the bodies that are going to be there on the game floor aren't there in practice. So it's hard to fix things because guys are playing out of position in practice in a way that it's probably not best for us in the game. So hopefully we can get some guys healthy and get a little bit more practice time before Ohio State comes Thursday.
What did you see from your guys just as that game was unfolding at ET? Like they had some momentum and they were kind of confident the other team was, but your guys obviously you won, so they showed some resolve. What did you see from their demeanor?
Yeah. I mean, the conversations in the huddles were good, and Damien's been great. He was probably the one that started practice in September that was the least vocal, and now he's probably become one of the most vocal guys. And we need that out of more players. But I think if you watch Damien Jefferson play, he doesn't care about Damien Jefferson. He cares about us winning. And if we collectively can take that approach, we've got a chance to surprise some people this year. If we let the devil that's selfishness creep in, then we're asking for trouble. But we've played 2 games. We started 2 different starting lineups. We may start a different one on Thursday. It's just going to be for a while until we can get everybody healthy and people kind of settle into their roles. We're going to keep throwing balls in the air and see what happens.
Sean hit 3 really big shots late in the game, just in terms of him growing into the role of being that guy late in the game. How much improvement did you see tonight?
Yeah, Tyshawn's making good strides, and we need him to make good strides. He's taking some tough ones at times that I don't like. Marcus Foster type shots that not many people besides Marcus Foster would make on a regular basis. But Tyshawn's wired to score, so I get that. Now it's just a matter of him learning, and this is his first couple games in this role, so there's going to be a curve there. And like I said last game, he and Mitch, they're still really young players. Like they're in a role that's totally foreign to them in terms of college basketball. Now, they have to be out there, and they've got to be the guys. And when the game was on the line, he obviously made some big shots.
Just in transition, are you missing just a little bit of, I don't know if it's structure, or do you feel like the guys maybe could even push it more?
Yeah, I thought the first half our pace wasn't where it needed to be, and our wings weren't running as hard, our point guards weren't pushing it as hard, our big wasn't getting out of the gates. And when you're not scoring, it's transition is. It's kind of like a big snowball that's just going downhill and gaining steam. And the better things go, the easier it is to have the energy to run. When you're not scoring and you're on defense for 30 seconds every possession, it can be difficult, but you have to do it. And when I watch the film, I'm not going to like what I see, especially the first half from a transition standpoint. We have to get more out of our transition game and to take a little bit of pressure off our quarter-court offense.
I'm sure you're not pleased with the rebounding totals as well, especially offensive glass. Is that something that you're concerned about moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're small when we start Damien at the 4. Martine, I don't think, is back to 100%. He was going to get those balls last year, and now he's staying grounded and kind of waiting for them to come to him. But the first half, I thought our physicality was better, and we were able to create some space for us to rebound. Guards got in there and got in the fight. The second half, that didn't happen as much as it needed to. And again, we got to watch it on film. We got to learn from it. We're going to have to be a gang rebounding team. I don't know that I've ever coached a game where nobody on the team has got more than 3 rebounds. I think that's a first, and I'm sure Rob will confirm that in Creighton history sometime soon here. But I've never seen anything like that.
They turned over 19 times. I don't know how many were forced or unforced, but it seemed like teams were at least making an effort to dig the big and do all the things you guys worked on.
We assumed they'd go inside quite a bit, especially when they saw that we went small, and Rodriguez was a handful the second half. But I thought we did a good job on Armas. I thought for the most part, except for those couple baskets Hodges got early in the second half off the dribble. I thought we were okay on him as well. But Good got loose a few times. We didn't stay down on Boyd's shot fakes. You know, our message to the guys was to chase him off the three-point line. And to his credit, you know, he got to 12, 15 feet, made some pretty nice plays for himself. So, like I said, I thought when I watched him on film that this was a good basketball team, and I think you're going to see as the season goes on, they're going to win a lot of games.